Welcome to Psionic Aftermath. I am Xenodactyl, your host, and we'll be underway shortly. 1 second. Says it's running. Stream delays are yes, we are good to go. Oh, no, don't do that. No, wrong way. Okay. Alrighty. We are ready to roll, I believe. Yes, okay. Starting. Fantastic. And checking overlays. Okay. Yes. Good. Hi! Oh man. So first off, we have a ZVT on Lost and Found. And spawning in the bottom left as the orange Terran, representing Psionic Aftermath. It is the one, the only, Illusion. And to the top right, as the red Zerg, representing Guns and Roaches, it is Morgoth. So, I don't remember what happened last time they played. I want to say Illusion proxied, but my memory's pretty fuzzy. At any rate, it's gonna be a... Actually, no, that was a different game. I don't know. You can go back and watch it. It was week 6 of the VTL. They played then too. So they've played at least once before, if they haven't met on the ladder. And we're going to see a standard Reaper opener coming out of Illusion this time. And hatch pool... We're gasless at the moment for Morgoth, so speed is going to be delayed. This pool timing actually feels... Was this pool first? Was I not paying attention? Is this a 16 pool? Yeah, I think this was a 16 pool. At any rate... Yeah, that feels like a 16 pool, so... we're going to see actually the onset of perhaps a 2-1-1 coming out of Illusion. Reaper is going to go out, and these 6 slings are going to look to get the denial on this low ground command center. The Reaper is just barely going to miss that pathing, so these lings could actually secure a nice early game advantage for Morgoth if Illusion is not careful. The Reaper is on the wrong side of the map for the Zerg's opener, and that CC is going to be stalled out if not cancelled. With 6 slings here, the cancel can be forced, and unfortunately for Morgoth, he's gotten a reactor right off of the Reaper, so there isn't even a lone Marine here that will in fact be cancelled. The CC will have to be restarted on the high ground. So, early game advantage does go to Morgoth. The two Marines are out now, and they do snatch for themselves a starting Ling. The Reaper is going to have to harass and find out what the follow-up for Morgoth is so that Illusion can catch up in this game. Already gonna get a drone pull as well as a drone kill, so good counter harass to start things off. And this is curious. I would have thought he was going to start stim right off of this barracks, but maybe he feels he has to adjust his playstyle for some particular reason. Oh no, he's going to get tanks instead, so maybe we'll see a ground push instead of a 2-1-1 drop. Okay, he started up a tank, but he is supply blocked, and this depot is going to finish up soon-ish, but not here soon enough. This might be like the bunny style of a 2-1-1, where he loads the tanks in the medevacs and goes across the map that way. At any rate, we do see these Marines moving out now, and that will shoot away the kill the Overlord rather, and secure the low ground positioning for this orbital. Baneling Nest is nearing completion for Morgoth, as well as an evolution chamber and a second gas. Couple Lings pooling on this right hand side for Morgoth. It's gonna look to potentially run by when Terran moves out, or otherwise just get some scouting information. All things considered, it's still a good position for Morgoth. Yes, the drones did have to be pulled, but tempo has been in the Zerg's favor, and Illusion economy is only now kicking in. This Marine is going to die in order to confirm that there is still the same amount of Lings that ran by earlier with the tank. And third base saturation is halfway done for Morgoth. Lings are going to go back home as the Terran push will commence. The tanks are just going to move with the army, and we only see a lone medevac so far. A second is on the way, as there is no reactor on this starport. I'm not sure what this CC is, or SEV is coming out here for. Maybe it's just a scout ahead of the army. At any rate, this is going to be a nice siege position for Illusion, as these rocks are going to protect those tanks a little bit. There are Banelings here, so Illusion has to be careful. If they can, no, the connect. Oh, that is painful. He does save one tank, and we'll have to evacuate. Just needed a little bit of a preemptive split there with the Marines, and that because the Banelings didn't have speed, there was a scenario in which that could have been very ugly for Morgoth. But as it was, without the split, good connects coming out of those Banelings right before Illusion was really ready to dig his heels in to that location. And Morgoth maintains his lead. Hydralisk Den is complete, and Hydras are on that production tab, so we're gonna see a standard composition coming out of both players. Third is done for Illusion, however it has not been transformed, nor has it been moved to location, and Illusion's going to look for drops to get back into this game. It's kind of nice that the second drop goes over this Ling force, as it might distract Morgoth from this other drop that is going to reach the main. Fortunately for Morgoth, there is an Overlord in position that should quote-unquote scout this, but is he watching the minimap, and does he have the wherewithal to deal with it? It's going to unload right kind of in the queen space. The army is nowhere nearby. It's on the other side of the map. And we're going to get a lot of drone kills to start things off with as soon as that queen falls. A lot of Lings trading out, and this is pretty entrenched. But with the rest of the Lings getting back here, the medevac will disengage, and this clears up the space for the third to be taken with relative ease. Baneling speed is not yet complete. It is halfway done, and then Hydralis, what is it, Groove Spines, is also underway. A couple Marines stimming off, just to see what they can see, I guess. Gonna kill a Hydra and then realize they can't actually fight that army. SCVs are going to run into the mineral line of the third. There's not a whole lot here, but there are fresh mules. And the Terran is going to hold for now. Things are getting a little bit shaky, but there's just not quite enough Zerg to deal with 5 tanks. So Morgoth's going to have to back up and take this fight another time, bleeding out a lot of Banelings, actually. That's a lot of gas to lose for free. Oh, I missed this drop. That would explain why Morgoth's attention is elsewhere. It is trying to clean up this pressure coming out of Illusion. Good plays, good plays. He's just kind of keeping that medevac there. It's a nice pin, and until these Hydras move over the bottom side, this is going to be a constant threat for Morgoth, keeping a lot of units trapped in his main. He's going to need to do something like splinter off some Hydras to clean up this drop if he wants to ever actually attack. As it is, he's actually just going to split his army and use a small force at him while the tanks are just accumulating here. I just don't see a scenario in which Morgoth breaks the Terran. Illusion. No, you cannot come through this choke! No! Someone had blundered! Oh, that is painful. Oh, that is painful. Okay, well, now the advantage is seriously in Illusion's favor, as he patiently waited for a bad engagement, and now Morgoth is just gonna be in a lot of trouble. There's no other way to put it. This is a best of 7. I should have stated that at the start. Alrighty, so Illusion senses his opening, his window of opportunity after such a terrible trade for the Zerg, and Illusion is going to pounce on that. His tanks have siege behind this tower, and the rest of the forces are closing in. Morgoth desperately trying to hold on, but it will not be enough as there's too much bio. The 4th will fall for the Zerg. There is a 5th base that is, I guess, now the 4th on the bottom right-hand side, but that's not going to really solve this problem, as there's a siege upon the Zerg and not really anything to dislodge this. Couple Hydras, or a couple Banelings being morphed. Decent Hydra Ling count, but just not enough here without any splash damage. Gonna try for something, I guess. But with the other drop shutting down the economy, 18 drones have gone down. And wow, this is really good splintering of the Marines to continue to hurt the Zerg economy. Morgoth's just gonna pounce on this Hydra, on this tank line, and there's not enough Marines here to deal with that. But still 2 tanks in the back, and the main has been sabotaged, basically. Gonna try to get more damage and gonna boost out of there. Back at home, Illusion has a Thor, 3 tanks, and these Marines are still putting on pressure. So, with the 5th base completed, but not moved on location, and healthy army to fall back on, Illusion is comfortably ahead. Morgoth has stabilized for now, but his economy is in shambles, his army supply is also behind. There's basically no advantage for the Zerg. Neither player has upgrades as of this point, to my knowledge, but I don't think that's going to really be a factor in this game. No, surely there are... Okay, no, they both have 2-2. What am I talking about? I can't click on things. Actually, that didn't... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. At any rate, scan goes down, sees the Zerg army moving about, and Illusion is... I don't know about this decision. Illusion has opted for base race, effectively speaking, because he saw the army. Maybe he misunderstood how much was coming at him. Okay, well, that is the scenario that he has chosen. Like, the scan means he could have prevented this. He actually is trading out pretty well with just this one tank. My goodness, that tank did a lot before it went down. His, well, he just has so much DPS, it doesn't matter. His 4th spell, his natural is, gonna have to float away. But he has the high ground with these tanks. The Zerg cannot push up that. And he's basically killing the entire Zerg. His SCVs from the 3rd are going to have to run away. And all in all, this is fine for Illusion. Like, it's a base race, but Terran is winning this base race in that this will never be broken. And he's basically killed almost everything for the Zerg on this side of the map. The only things standing are this hatchery and this corner base that he's only now aware of. But it's not saturated and can't really help Morgoth come back into this game. Tanks did move on to the low ground. I'm not so sure you wanted to move all your tanks down. I would have liked to see one tank on this point. As a result, he's actually going to be able to get right on top of these tanks, and that's not so good. There's a lot of Terran still on the map, but it's just in the wrong position. This is... Illusion may have just given up his win condition. He's still ahead on army, and he can always float out of all of this, but this got a lot hairier than it needed to. The Hydras are going to get in here. There is a tank out, which will fall. Another tank in production. This CC... Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. So this base is gonna fall. And okay, this orbital needs to repair itself, like, pronto. Repair! 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 Okay. Goodness gracious. Tank is gonna try to clear out some of the Zerg force, but that will not happen. The rest of these Terran buildings all need to float to different locations, but it doesn't really matter, as long as Illusion can snuff out everything the Zerg has. This was a really messy game. There was no reason for it to get this complicated, but it is, and we are here, so... Man. Okay, this is a good split from Illusion. He's gonna move his forces to minimize losses, and Illusion will win this game. As his Thor does get to that Evo chamber. Wow, what a game to start this off. What a game. Oh, man. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I think Illusion kind of panicked a little bit as he was floating over 1,000 minerals and over 1,000 gas for a good portion of that. It almost didn't matter what units he made, he just needed more units at home. What a crazy game. Alrighty. Let's see who comes out next for Guns N' Roses. Alright, Sergeant Bunny is gonna be the next player for Guns N' Roses. We're just waiting on the map selection now, and then we will get into game. Okay, we're gonna have a small break as Illusion is gonna run to the restroom. Okay, we're gonna have Cerulean Fall for our next map. But, alrighty. There we go. Everyone's back, and we should be starting as soon as we're in lobby and everyone's comfy. Illusion, Sergeant Bunny, me, Morgoth, Game Heart. Illusion's ready. Morgoth is race checking. Alrighty. Players are ready, and we are off to the races. Oh man, what a game. What a game. Oh, that was an amazing first game. Man, oh man. Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, Illusion took a really good fight, and then decided to base race. Because why not? He scanned. He knew the army was coming for him on that side. I guess he just didn't put it all together. Or he likes space races. I don't know. But at any rate, spawning in the upper right as the Teal Protoss representing Guns and Roaches, it is Sergeant Bunny. And to the bottom left as the Red Terran with a base race win, it is Illusion. Alrighty. Alrighty. Oh, what a game. Probe is gonna come in and scout what appears to be a normal Terran opener. And it's just gonna go on home. SCV is going to come in, do likewise, see the 19 Nexus. Okay. A little bit of inefficiencies in the Terran opener, or a Protoss opener rather. I wasn't watching how Illusion did it, and I don't exactly know the exact timings of everything for the Terran Reaper expand, but at any rate, it is what it is. We're gonna see the Reaper stay at home this time. Maybe Illusion is wary of basically the Protoss version of the 16 pool would be a Zealot first, I suppose. There's also the Core first, which can kind of do that, but isn't doesn't have the same swing potential, or like the Core first really just stalls out the CC, whereas the Zealot first on smaller maps can get a cancel. At any rate, his command center will finish unimpeded this time, and he will feel much more comfortable with his Reaper being at home. Is now going to go across the map and kind of get a follow-up scout. Because there are two Stalkers out, it might not find as much damage, especially seeing as there's no Reaper ledge directly into the main. He will have to go at least on this lip here, but there is a Stalker to intercept this, and a second Stalker as well. Oh no, a little bit of indecision is going to cost the Reaper its life, and we are going to see a blink opening coming out of Sergeant Bunny. Alright, two Stalkers are moving across the map, as well as a third blink has started. Chrono's going into that, and a single forge has gone down for the Protoss. Stalkers are going to pressure at this front. A couple Marauders are here, and they're going to deal damage very nicely to those armored units. Third gateway is now finishing, as well as Warp Tech. So, Sergeant Bunny will have the tools at his disposal to warp in units. However, he is going to be faced with a 4-Rax, so there will be a strong stim timing. Well, actually, the stim feels sorta late. At any rate, blink will be done momentarily. And lots of Marauder production at available to Illusion. Gonna start that factory now and look to develop his tech a little bit more. And we'll see if he throws down a third or goes for a later push. Stalkers are going to be pretty mobile. There's gonna be 6 gateways of production in a moment. There will also be charge. No indication of a third for Sergeant Bunny just yet. So he may look to just get really aggressive off of 6 gateways. Oh no. Okay. So Stim is not done yet. Illusion may be in a little bit of trouble with this heavy Stalker count. They have Blink, there's no retreat, and Illusion is just going to have to take his losses. Trying to trade out as best he can will force a disengage, so all things considered, he made the best of what was a pretty bad situation. Stim is not done yet. And, tank production will be underway. Starport is also just now starting. Third is almost complete for the turn, but it will still have to be floated over, whereas the Protoss has to start their base on location. Alrighty. Scan does go down, sees the army is not at home. This may give Illusion the feeling that he's about to be attacked. But the Stalkers are just out in front of the third. So Sergeant Bunny is at home, but Illusion doesn't know that Sergeant Bunny is at home. Robo is now starting, and 2-1 is underway for Sergeant Bunny. The lack of this late of a Robo technically means that there was an opening for some airplay of some sort, or Banshees or something of that nature, but that window is not something that Illusion had in the works, shall we say, as you can't really react to that. And the Stalkers are going to come around. The tank is not quite covering this side, and there's not a lot of bio here, but there are Marauders, and Marauders do very well against the majority of Protoss Gateway forces. So, all in all, he will push Sergeant Bunny back and continue his what is now 5 gateways, or 5 racks of production, and just power up that way. Again, playing a similar defensive style, just looking to find an advantage somewhere in this game is Illusion. His medevacs are out now, and that they will heal up all those injured units that had to stim here, stim there, eat a couple Stalker shots, whatnot. And yes, I do know builds other than Cannon. We're going to see him stimming in and getting right up close and personal with those gateway units. The tanks are going to provide a kind of buffer zone where the Protoss shouldn't engage. Gonna pick up one tank. Okay, nice. Maneuvering the tank onto the high ground. And that's going to allow Illusion to kind of leapfrog forward a little bit. With that high ground tank, the second tank can follow up. The Blink Stalkers are going to try to get that tank, but they aren't target firing until just now, so the tank did get a couple extra shots, and now all the Stalkers are almost dead. Only a handful of them remain. Probe's gonna be pulled into this next fight, but I don't see this working as there are 2 tanks here and a handful of bio to cover the tanks. Well done from Illusion, cleaning up this Protoss force. and this third is under threat. But there's not a lot of Terran here, and the Immortal is gonna provide a backbone, especially up against these shield batteries. This has kind of become a little bit surgical in these low numbers, as the tank is kind of the anchor for the Terran force. Good observer is watching the Terran movement and looking to punish any moment that Illusion is not properly together. He is going to lose his tank for that. And the linchpin of his army is gone, but he just has so much. There is only a... Okay, well, now with that next warpin of Stalkers, there's some holding power for the Protoss, but, yeah, gosh, Stim is really good. And, everything dies minus this one Stalker. And these probes are not quite running right. This third will certainly fall. And even if Sergeant Bunny finds some way to hold off of his gateways and Immortal, and I guess he has a shield battery on the top of this ramp. Oh wow, nice. Good drop movement. Oh, gonna actually punish that with a blink. A little bit unfortunate for Illusion, but that's what blink is for. As it is, he's just going to eat all of this Protoss force, and Sergeant Bunny is desperately trying to do something about it, but I just don't see it. There's just not enough Protoss. There's not much else to say other than that. Pulling probes again, but this is just desperately trying to hold on to something that cannot be won. Scan goes down in case of DPs. There are none, and the Observer will fall instead. And Sergeant Bunny will accept it, tapping out. And there's the GG. Good morning, Nemesis. Alrighty. PsiX is off to a good start. Let's see who comes out next for Guns and Roaches to stop Illusion, or can Illusion get that coveted all kill? Yeah, Nemesis makes a good point in that without Splash in that engagement, there's not really a whole lot of comeback potential. So, like, either when you're playing a PvT, you need to get up to those 8 gateways very quickly and have the production to match the Terran, or you need to have AoE. And being on 6 gateways, being only on 6 gateways for so long, and not having the AoE, like, you cannot do both. You either need more units or you need AoE, one or the other. Alrighty. We're going to see what their next map is, and I will be right back. I need to get something to drink. Okay, looks like Acid Plant will be our next map. Let's see, Game Heart, Illusion's turn. Okay. Alrighty. Looks like we have a TVZ. They're sending in their first diamond as they have lost both of their platinums to Illusion. So we now enter the stage where one team has a quote underdog and can potentially upset. So spawning in the bottom right as the pink Zerg, representing Guns and Roaches, it is Fizzfritz. And to the top left, as the red Terran, representing Psionic Aftermath, on a win streak, it is Illusion. Alrighty. We have a gas first coming out of Illusion. I'm not sure what he intends to do with this gas first. Can't recall if he'd used this earlier. But it might just be for a faster factory, get some quick Hellions out. Look for some early game damage that way. On the flip side, it's gonna be a hatch first, coming out of our Zerg. So, standard play. Hatch gas pool. SCV's on the low ground, gonna start off that CC right away. So, just the fast gas, no cheese off of it. Just gonna be for a faster factory, and perhaps some sort of earlier pressure as a result. Reaper is gonna go out, and a Marine going to start before the reactor. Overlord is in position. Oh gosh. Thank you, Terran Lord. I forgot the overlay. Anyway, Reaper is here. And it's going to get a what did it get? I was distracted by chat. No, it didn't get anything. It just forced an extractor trick. It's trying to get this drone. Needs to block it. There we go. Very nicely done. Now, the funny thing about all this is, while this is an impressive micro, both of them had a little bit of lapse in minimal spending. Okay, gonna take the third at the other location. But, not too much harm to either player. Just that early game dance. Fun to watch. And, Good early game micro coming out of both players. Really, I think the primary mineral floating for Frizzfritz was actually not being able to put down his third at the time he wanted. That's understandable. You meant to spend it, you just couldn't. There's something in the way. Alright, we're gonna see Cloak coming out, and unfortunately for Fizzfritz, for Illusion rather, Fizzfritz is sending in this Sacrificial Overlord, and it will see the Starport with the Cloak being researched. Hellions are going to run around from the other side, hoping to get a couple drones, distract the Zerg from actually scouting properly, but Fizzfritz should make some spores at some point, right? Right? Maybe not. You know, I think Illusion just gave up what was, oh no, a lot of damage potential. So he canceled. He knew he had been scouted, and so he canceled his Banshees. And Fizzfritz never built spores, so that's unfortunate. I don't know if we want to call this a bluff from Fizzfritz or whether Illusion just mind-gamed himself. Okay. It is what it is. Unfortunately, you can't know everything. But, at any rate, Lings are gonna work on these rocks. Doesn't want to have to fight tanks coming, shelling from behind. So, really gonna work to open up that path. Third command center is 2/3 done. Scan does go down, sees the lair as well as the 2 evolution chambers. And the Baneling Nest has actually is halfway done with the central feudal hooks. There is a spire on the field, so this could be some muta play. I don't know how much Fizzfritz wants to commit to mutas. This could be like 9 mutas to just harass the Terrans and then transition off of that into something else. Or he could just go like balls to the wall with mutas, I guess. Not that that's exactly a thing, but people do it. Yo, the Reaper with the jump gonna get a little bit extra scouting information, will it? It has not seen the... Oh, I think he already saw the spire, didn't he?
Mineral field depleted. Upgrade complete.
No, he has not seen the spire. Okay, so the Reaper with the jukes did not achieve the most important thing, which was to identify that this is not actually a Hydrostatin. So the muta surprise remains hidden. And Illusion does not have his forces split, so he may be in for a nasty surprise. The mutas are actually pooling, so Fizzfritz might be waiting for a couple more mutas before he starts his reign of terror from the skies. Lots of banelings going in. This may be actually a 2-pronged attack. With Ling Bane coming from the third, and the Mutas perhaps going to the main. There's no missile turrets down for Illusion, so this could look very ugly if Illusion is caught unawares. +1 attack is starting, or rather halfway done for the Mutas, so we could see a lot more Mutas in the near future. Not yet. Okay, 6 are in production, so I'm gonna try and raise that Muta count a good bit, and very heavy on the Lingbane, which makes sense. This is creeped wrong. This is blocking, but anyway. Lots of creep spread, it's nice. It's kinda gonna ensure a lot of vision and mobility for the Lingbane. It kinda reminds me of like old Scarlet with the Muta play and the attention to creep spread. But we'll see just how this plays out. PsiX is pretty much maxed at this point, so it's not going to get any stronger. There are missile turrets going down. I don't know if Illusion saw the Mutas, or the
base is under attack.
Well, he knows the Mutas are here now for sure. If he didn't before, he knows now. And he's gonna push the Mutas back for now. He's got a mine out, and maybe he'll just go into mine play. That would be kind of interesting. Reactor mine can certainly pack a punch on the Muta Lingbane. Thor would also be nice. Or a few Thors, in fact. Ling's looking for some damage, but Terran is well covered there. Illusion's gonna load up a medevac. This is kind of dangerous, or he's loading up 2 medevacs. This is kind of dangerous when you're fighting against a Zerg that has this much creep spread and Mutas. There's like almost no way you get to the Zerg base without being spotted, and then the Mutas can certainly get on top of those medevacs. He's gonna have to drop like here and just like settle for stalling that base. Otherwise it will be pretty dangerous. Okay, it's a little bit of indecision actually. I thought he was pulling back, and now he's going in again. That's a lot of Banelings! Oh my goodness! Oh boy. Okay. Illusion has forced the Zerg to pull back with this drop as well as this other one to the south. Gonna hit in 2 places at once, good splitting. Gonna probably lose both of these medevacs, but tempo's now going towards Illusion. And supply advantage as well. So that was really well executed between those 2 medevac drops. Just keeping the Zerg at bay, trying to maintain or grapple for some sort of a lead. All in all, both players playing this out very well. It's just a little bit scary because there is a lot of creep spread. Really well done from PsiX prioritizing that creep. Baneling's gonna get right on top of the bio. All the connections are real, and Illusion is going to tap out. Alrighty. So now we will have our next player. Let me see where she is. Alright, good target will be our next platinum. And we will be underway shortly. Alrighty. Looks like both players are ready. And we'll get into game. Okay. Alright, spawning in the upper left as the purple Zerg. Representing guns and roaches, it is Fizz Fritz. With the extractor trick. And to the bottom right, as the green Zerg, representing Sonic Aftermath, it is Good Target. Alrighty, so standard openers for both players, I think. And, actually, when was this pool? I don't know. ZVZ is something I don't have mapped out very well, as I don't play Zerg. And I don't have anything to compare it against. So, like... Oh, you know what? I think PsiX is pulling SEV... pulling SEVs. Ha! Oh, he's pulling Lings. He wants to Ling flood good target. So... I don't believe this comes with a Baneling Nest, or if it does, the Baneling Nest is very late. Yeah, no, there's no Baneling Nest. Speed is all that this is gonna hit with. And... good target might be caught unawares. There is a spine crawler in both mineral lines, and some semblance of a wall. So good target is wary of the possibility of something like this, but I don't think this is gonna be enough. All those Lings are coming across the map. They are upon her now as we speak. This wall is not really complete. Drones are going to be told to... this is a really nice hold position. Gonna protect that queen and spine for quite some time, in fact. Lings are going to run to the main instead, and good target's going to use the same hold position with these drones. And it's a acceptable start to this. But there's still a lot of Lings. This only bought her time, and the spine is gonna fall. Oh no. Alright, she will stabilize for the time being. Barely hanging on by the skin of her teeth. And more Lings coming in. Yeah. It's just Lings. Lings and Lings and Lings, and I think good targets may not have enough stuff. Like, just barely not enough. No Baneling Nest here to save her. So she won't have the ability to deal with this follow-up aggression. She is going to retreat to her spine collar in the main since the one at the natural fell. But there's no queen here anymore. She doesn't have a whole lot of Lings. She is babying that spine crawler, clinging onto it for dear life. But this Ling flood has kind of paid for itself, as the supply lead does go to PsiX. So even if PsiX doesn't kill her here, which he should, good target is just going to be too far behind. Alright, working on that drone micro is good target. But there's just so many Lings. All the Lings. All the Lings. Painful loss, but just barely not there. Had she gotten a Baneling Nest, her initial defense was so good that with Banelings to follow that up, I think that would have been a pretty straightforward win, as PsiX was banking a lot on that all in. Speedling all in. Okay, let's go find Exile. One second. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Played 4 games? Yes. Okay, that's correct. Zeno learned TVT and now we must teach him ZVZ. I mean, I feel like I have some idea of ZVZ, but it's not like... Well, okay, we're gonna have Parasite. Where is Parasite? Para. I do think somehow, along the way, my understanding of TVT did get slightly better than my understanding of ZVZ. That's strange. Because I do play Zerg more than I play Terran. I pretty much never play Terran. I play Zerg like once in a blue moon just because the units are fun and creep is nice. I like creep. Creep is good. It feels like... I don't know what it feels like. Oh. Hang on. Wasn't paying attention. There we go. Alrighty. Gonna have a nice long rush distance here on Parasite. Yes, my resolution is a little bit wonky, just because it stays stable here. I can theoretically increase the resolution, but then some days it will not work and other days it will. So until I get a better graphics card, we're gonna stay here just because we know this one works. Alright. Spawning in the top left as the purple Zerg representing Guns and Roaches. It is Fizz Fritz. And to the southeast, opening with the fast pool, representing Psionic Aftermath. It is Exile. So this might be one of those the shoe is on the other foot sort of scenarios, in which Exile might look to be the aggressor. With this fast pool, fast gas, and potentially fast Baneling Nest. Oh, what? He looked like he wanted to expand, but miscalculated something. I don't know. Queen is underway and an Overlord as well. pool is just now halfway done for PsiX. And speed is starting, so... Oh, the mech Zerg queen noise. I was like, what is this? Okay. Exile now going to take his pool, what am I talking about? Hatch on the low ground, natural, there we go. And his lings are going to move out, or at least his first two, just see what he can see. Put on some pressure. I feel like there should be more lings right now. This feels not optimized. Maybe he's just scouting. Is that all this is? An early scout? Gonna get a drone for his troubles. Okay, there's the Baneling nest. I see now. So we just wanted a really fast speed and a fast Baneling nest. And there's still gonna be some... Well, both of them have the mech skins. Lings are gonna run around this right-hand side where the overlords cannot see them. Or, actually there is one overlord that may have seen all of this. He might have. I'm not sure when that got there. Couple Banelings are here for PsiX, so we're gonna see some Ling Bane action momentarily. All those lings are turning into Banelings on the top right. And they'll try to run in, maybe get some connections with the drones. This is getting a little bit base tradey. I mean, not exactly base tradey, but like... We're gonna see explosions on both sides, let's put it that way. First... Oh, I missed that. Oh. Alrighty. So, no workers have fallen yet, have they? Just that first drone. Okay. Traded out. Man. Keeping track of Ling Bane wars on both fronts is kind of frustrating. Like, you're trying to anticipate where is the next connection. Okay. I don't even know how to cast Ling Bane Wars. Trying to take a third is Exile, but the Lings are going to kill that. And uh-oh. There's not a whole lot here for Exile. And Ling Bane is threatening from PsiX. Okay. Okay, the Banelings traded out decently for PsiX, that he now has this window where Exile just doesn't have anything here. PsiX is morphing Banelings, and that's gonna be it for Exile. Alrighty, 1 second. Let me figure out where our last player has disappeared to. It might just be that oh, he's just not in the thing. Okay. I'll go grab him. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Yeah, I don't think I would call that an early third either. Thirds in ZVZ are kind of like... The timings on them are... it seems to vary more, because it's a mirror matchup and the Lingbane stage can go either way. Okay. One second. Sorry guys, trying to figure out where the D2 or D1 player for PsiX went. My brain is blipping now. We had parasites, cerulean acid lost and found in blue shift, so that means that, or no, in Dreamcatcher, so that means blue shift and I forget what the other map is. Oh, Fracture. Oh gosh, okay. It's kind of funny. We were waiting on Goodman, and then their guy had to use the restroom, so now we're waiting on their guy. It just goes back and forth, kind of the way it is, but it is what it is. No, I'm not playing. That's not right. I mean, I am D1, but I'm casting today. Alrighty. Both players are ready. We will get underway. Okay. Spawning in the northeast as the purple Zerg representing guns and roaches, it is PsiX. And in the opposing corner, in the red trunks, with trying to prevent a loss, it is PsiX Willmouse. Oh no. There we go. Oh. Alrighty. All systems go. Hatch gas pool. Oh, PsiX is a 14-14 hatch gas pool. Oh my. So, the 14-14 is, it looks normal, but it is an illusion. It's meant to give the appearance of a normal Zerg opener, but make no mistake, there is going to be some sort of aggression coming off of this. Looks like at minimum speed, we'll see if he pulls off gas now. Okay, he is pulling off gas. So this is just going to be a speedling. Was this the opener we saw previously? Was I not paying attention on Dreamcatcher? Is this going to be another Ling Flood? At any rate, I might have just written it off as a hatch gas pool even though I was observing. Oh man. He does see the 4 Lings, and they are out before his Lings are out. So if he's hyper aware, this is a small indicator, just because the Lings are slightly faster. But I don't know if he's picked up, if he has or will pick up on that. Unfortunately, this is pre-patch, so the creep will spread in time for him to wall if that is going to be his intended means of defense. He's going to get that Baneling nest started now. That's really important for this pool of Lings that is accumulating in the main. Not so sure you want to be out on the map like this, as speed will finish. And, okay, he is pulling back. He has realized the impending rush is underway, and gonna look to complete that wall as quickly as possible. Oh, but they're blocked! And the wall is not complete! Oh no! The Baneling nest is done, so there is the chance for those Banelings to get those connections. And that will have the potential to clean this up, but this is suddenly very dangerous. Good hold position on the drones to protect those precious Banelings. But the natural is under threat, and it will certainly fall. Now that the Banelings are done, Willmouse is looking to get the connections, but a good split off of Lings is going to bat that away. Oh no. This is looking really dangerous for Willmouse. And PsiX is gonna push his advantage. He really wants to get that Baneling Nest down, as that will open up the window for more aggression. That Baneling Nest does in fact fall, and these are the last 3 lings that Will Mouse can morph until his next Baneling Nest completes. He will get a good connection with one of his Banelings, and another good connection! Alrighty, there's some life in this red Zerg still. He does have a second Baneling Nest that is halfway done in the main. He is going to need to retake his natural... Oh, I'm not paying attention. He's taken his third as his natural replacement. All in all, worker advantage is slightly in favor of Will Mouse, as PsiX is not drawn up behind this. And, uh-oh. Okay, he does have Banelings at the top of this ramp. And PsiX may have the impression that, oh, that was an unfortunate, trade for Will Mouse. But what I was gonna say was that, oh, these Banelings are, no, this is not what I was gonna say. They want the drones, they're not gonna get the drones. It takes 2 to kill the drones. And maybe damage all the drones. Damage some of the drones. Okay. Oh, missing it. Oh, nice connection. Very nice. Still has 2 Banelings in reserve, and Will Mouse will now take his third. So PsiX may have a false sense of his, like, he does have an economic lead. Don't get me wrong. He has a faster third. He has more drones, but he may have a false sense of how much that lead is, because he may think that there is no second base even for Will Mouse. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, no, he has not seen anything. Banelings are going to come in here and get some connections. But there's no follow-up behind this, and fortunately, that also exhausts the Ling army for PsiX, but PsiX is also transitioning into roaches of his own. And there is a Baneling, or a pair of Banelings at home for Will Mouse. So, Will Mouse needs to transition. He does have a Roach Warren and a Evo Chamber. So, he is thinking about that. But he's gonna see about getting a little bit more done with these Lings. If he were to go over to the third, he could potentially put some pressure on and force... oh, he does get the Queen though. That's nice. But I don't think he's expecting this third, so... maybe missed that. Doesn't quite get the... He was trying for another pair of Banelings to run in the mineral line. He does now see this third, finally. But, PsiX is thinking about getting a lair, but... Or he misclicked and didn't want a lair. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Lair has started for Will Mouse, and he's going to move his spine down to the natural. Oh, a couple wings did get in, but didn't get any notable kills. All in all, PsiX has an advantage in army, in those roaches. But otherwise the economy is still pretty even. idle drone here for Will Mouse. We're gonna enter that stage of the game where Zerg vs. Zerg is mostly roach based. The faster lair for Will Mouse means that he can potentially switch into Hydralisk or even Mutas if he wants. But it's gonna have a faster fourth for Fizzfritz, so really powering up that aggression, trying to or econ, and trying to get rely on that opening stage of the game, trusting his macro to be sufficient in what he believes to be, and would be correct, a economic lead from the start of the game. Couple wings running around, just trying to protect the fourth from placement of the fourth, so as to not be delayed. And the rest of the Zerg army will come up to clean up this harass force. Creep spread is pretty good up the center lane, so movement through the center, even though it won't have any escape paths to the sides, can quickly get back one way or the other. So the map has kind of become very small as a result of both players' creep spread. We do see the Roach burrow coming out of Will Mouse and burrow movement, so he's going to start that harassment, and I think this is a stage of the game that Will Mouse is going to feel much more comfortable as he's gotten onto that place where he's not having to defend as much because he's counterattacking with these harassments in the main, in the natural, and he's going to keep pressuring the front. He doesn't have more roaches here, but by pressuring here, he's forcing Fizzfritz to lose more workers. Gonna back up to his reinforcements, and this is not a bad fight for Will Mouse. He might lose this though. Uh-oh. He's actually lost all his roaches. It looked okay for a second, but then he just lost his entire army. So he's gonna have to rebuild that very quickly, and hopefully his burrow roaches buy enough time for the recycling or the production cycle rather. But I don't think so. Will Mouse is in a lot of trouble right now. Yes, 32 drones did go down, but 32 drones going down doesn't solve this. At least not yet. Will Mouse desperately trying to hold on. He is up double the supply in workers for the moment. But he needs to stop this force. He finally has enough roaches, getting that next wave of larva production cycle. He will stabilize. He does lose 24 of his own drones, supply advantage is still in favor of PsiX after all this is said and done. Not sure what that vial was, but it was a vial. No, you cannot go up the center. There is detection there. Okay, well, gonna lose some more roaches. Backing up is Will Mouse, recognizing the potential dangers. Still gonna send some sharking roaches to keep the pressure on the other side of the map while he attempts to rebuild his own economy. Alrighty, he's pulled the army to the bottom side of the map with his harass force, so now his main army can run up, snipe this hatch, and run back out. Good play coming out of Will Mouse to get back in this game. Now he really needs to retreat in order to deal with the counterattack that he's just triggered. He's not quite doing that. He wants to work on the rocks instead, but he's going to be out of position and lose his own base in return. So matching blow for blow is PsiX, and as he started this with an advantage, he will maintain the advantage. PsiX now taking a 5th. Will Mouse is just slowly getting into more trouble, but he has lurkers now, and the lurkers represent an intense, like a tank line essentially. He needs to back up as the lurkers are not getting that efficient. Okay, well that was, I guess there were, he was still in the lurker range, so it was okay. He's gonna actually gain the army advantage with that, and he cleans up all the roaches. What a comeback! Will Mouse clawing his way out of that. Whew. Wow, hanging on for dear life there. What a game. I think the best way to explain that game was that Will Mouse was the aggressor throughout, PsiX was the aggressor throughout all of that, and Will Mouse defended by having a tech advantage at each main point of that game. So it opened up with the 14-14 Ling Flood, and the tech advantage for PsiX, or for, I keep switching the names, for Will Mouse was the Banelings, and that allowed him to stabilize. He lost his natural, but he stabilized on Ling Bane, whereas his opponent only had Lings. Then later, as he looked to close out the game and come back from suffering multiple losses, where I guess into the mid game I should start with, he had a supply deficit, but he gained a worker, an economic advantage. Yeah, he gained a worker advantage through his burrow roaches, which were obviously superior to the lack of bro from his opponent. And then finally, as he was hoping to close out the game, he had lurkers, whereas his opponent did not have tech. So we're just going to have to see who comes out next for Guns N' Roaches. And yeah, very well played from Wilmouse. There were maybe 2 points in that game where I was kind of worried for him. Like the Banelings, like, it was cutting it really close. And then later on, the supply advantage was kind of daunting. But well played, well played. Yes, this is going to be the last match. It will be on Fracture. And we shall see what exactly this looks like. Once we know who their next player is. Okay, they're looking for their next player, and it seems he is also missing. It's just going around. Let me see what the rules say on this. So I just decided to hang on. Okay. Alrighty. It is Alright, their player is running late. I'm going to be right back, but this is not the screen I was looking for. They anticipate him being here soon, so I'm gonna get some water. Alrighty. We're just waiting on their player. I don't know. Ah, there we go. I won't have to. I won't be forced to entertain you guys. What am I doing? Da 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 da. Okay. Looks good. Alrighty. We're gonna get into this last game on Fracture. Shortest map in the map pool. So, might see some explosions, might see some aggression in this last game. And spawning in the upper left. As the blue Zerg representing Psionic Aftermath with the comeback. It is Willmouse. And to the bottom right, the ace for Guns and Roaches. It is the red Zerg. It is Equinus Ocha. Fast pool coming out of Equinus. Or Equinsu. Could be looking to do I think this was a 13-12. So, I'm gonna look to at minimum cancel this hatch, as well as potentially just end the game off the Banelings. It's gonna be very hard for Willmouse to defend this, as his own pool is just now starting. So this is probably the worst case scenario for Willmouse in terms of build order openers. As he has gone for that hatch gas pool. The standard play is, I mean, that's kind of how these builds evolve, right? You start out with what is standard, and then it kind of goes into how can I punish that. Wings are going to run straight into the main, and that hatch does complete, but the Lings for Willmouse are not out yet. He's gonna have to drone micro his way. Losing 2 drones, kind of an acceptable loss. More Lings are coming out for Willmouse, and Banelings are now morphing at the natural for well, Equinus has Banelings morphing at Willmouse's natural. Gosh. Can't speak too much crazy. Banelings are now, defensive Banelings now here. Oh! 7 drones go down to the initial Banes from Equinus, but that's going to open up the defense potential for Willmouse, and with his 2 queens and 2 Banelings, he can stabilize. He has the tools he needs to hold. He only has 1 Baneling here, and his supply, he is at a supply disadvantage, but he does have 2 hatches to Equinus's 1 hatch. His Baneling is trying to get a good connection, trying to zone these Lings out, and wow, nice dancing. Gonna do a good job not detonating on anything too minimal, and shooing away the rest of the Lings. Equinus now taking his own natural as he realizes that he might not be able to break Equinus, or break Willmouse. Gosh. And Willmouse is gonna choke up this point here very nicely. He does have a Baneling in reserve, but he really doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. And Willmouse is gonna complete a full wall, which he can remove later on in the game as things settle down. And all in all, while the supply advantage is in Equinus's favor, and he does have that worker lead, his natural is only now being reestablished. Yeah, this is a sizable, I mean, 9 workers is nothing to sneeze at. A 9 worker lead at the 5-minute mark, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. So again, Willmouse is going to be fighting this ZVZ from a deficit. I don't know if Equinus saw how the previous game went, so he may or may not be prepared for Roach Burrow play. Should Willmouse go for that again? He's gonna get the Overlord, which does not supply Cap or Red Zerg. And the question now becomes, can Willmouse dig himself out of this hole again? He's gonna clear out that Ling, trying to maintain the illusion of whether or not there is or is not a third. It's like Schrodinger's Zergling, right? Unless that third is confirmed, it can or it is both there and not there at the same time. Anyway, Lings are gonna come home for Willmouse, and after confirming that there is in fact no third for Equinus, and he knows he needs to be defensive. I think his own Roach Warren is not done yet. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is not good. He only now sees the roaches. He has one Baneling, 2 Spine Crawlers. His Roach Warren is done, yes, but the Baneling doesn't even get a good connection. There are 2 Queens and good transfuse on that Spine Crawler. Repetitively. Does he actually have enough? Is he gonna hold again? There are only 4 roaches left for Equinus. I don't think he can break Willmouse. The reinforcements come out for Willmouse, and Willmouse is held. Equinus has transitioned behind this though, so oh gosh. He has a lot of roaches reinforcing, and like, as impressive of a hold that was, the production for Equinus may just be too much. With such a short rush distance map, the roaches can get here so quickly, and like, he has Roach Ling to defend here, and a pair of Queens, but he just doesn't have enough roaches. A third Queen coming down from the main, and another Roach does pop, but it's just not enough. I don't think this is gonna work. I think Equinus might have just barely tipped the scales with this next wave, and the drones can't decide if they need to help fight or need to run away. They were never meant for fighting, even though they are mechanical in appearance. And a couple broodlings are gonna pop out, try to do something about this, but I mean, really, there's just not enough here for Willmouse, and Equinus may have done it. He's gonna lose his Roach Warren. I don't even know if that upgrade finished. Roach Warren does fall. So these are the last roaches for Willmouse. Willmouse is gonna try to hang on. He's got these 3 spines in his main, but it's all over. He's gonna tap out now. GG. Equinus will close it out for Guns N' Roaches. Alright, let me see what else is going on. any announcements I should make y'all aware of. Let's see, today is Saturday. Oh dear. Come on, computer. Don't do this. Hiya. Do you ever talk to your computer like you're coaxing it? It makes no sense. It's like, what is the computer is the computer actually going to respond? Like it's just a collection of ones and zeros, right? And now it's gonna be mad at me because I insulted it. Okay, it's behaving finally. Okay, Monday there is a friendly between Risen as well, and that will be 3 diamonds, 2 masters, a friendly clan war, all kill style. And then Thursday there will be another all kill, another friendly. It's gonna be versus Stand to the End, 4 master lineup. And then on Friday, you guys are in for a treat. There's gonna be another King of the Hill. It appears to be in clan top 6. I'm not entirely sure what the. Oh yes, it does say in house. Yes, it's a King of the Hill, 6-player invite, and that should be a treat. It will be Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you tune in for all these events. I've been your host, Xenodactyl, and I will see y'all later.